Well, good Tuesday evening to all of you. April 14th, and we got severe weather that we're tracking here across Ohio, kind of in northwest portions of northwest Ohio here right now as it's moving off here towards the east. Got some plethora of things going on. You can see here as we get started the severe thunderstorm warnings that we got it going on, along with a lot of lightning. There's a ton of lightning markers here, as you can see on your screen. We'll zoom in here a little bit, get a little bit closer to the action here in northwest Ohio. So let's go ahead and zoom in here real quick. We'll turn off the lightning markers, but there is a ton of lightning with these storms here tonight as well. So it tells you kind of how active these storms really are. Let's go ahead and hide that real quick and let's kind of look in the severe thunderstorm warnings one by one as we continue here. First of all, we'll start here to the most southern warning for our friends down in Shelby and Auglaize County. This is a severe thunderstorm warning that goes until 8:30, and this one's got some hail with it right now, and this severe thunderstorm warning remains in effect again until 8:30 for Shelby, northwestern Champaign, western Logan, northeastern Dark, and southern Auglaize County. 746, again, this severe storm is located near New Bremen, moving east at 40 miles an hour, and they got this one at 70-mile-an-hour wind gusts, which is a considerable tag, so we have to be very careful with that because that means the wind threats are in that considerable range, which means, again, 70-plus mile-an-hour winds, which can be very destructive. Also, minor hail is possible in with this particular severe storm. Moving here into the northern one, let's cover the one in Lima right now. This one goes until 8:15. This is for Allen County. Let's keep it going here, 8:15, and history of producing greater than 58-mile-an-hour wind gusts. So the hazard they have here in this storm cell for Lima and Allen County, and the one they just issued out ahead of this one, is 60 miles an hour, 60-mile-an-hour gusts. And let's go in here for portions of Hardin County, the other one that they issued out ahead of this. They got this one here for 60-mile-an-hour wind gusts as well. And keep looking at this. They got this one slowed down a little bit as far as the movement of the storm. They got this one at 30 miles an hour. And then let's go ahead and look at that final severe thunderstorm warning they have up here for portions of Seneca County, Wyandotte County, and Crawford County, and even portions of Hancock County in this one as well. So National Weather Service out of Cleveland has issued this northernmost warning for the area, and this is for southern Seneca County, Wyandotte County, Crawford County, and east central Hancock County. Just to note that this doesn't include the cities of Findlay, and it also does not include the city of Tiffin at this time. So not for Tiffin, not for Findlay. They got this one clocked in at 60-mile-an-hour wind gusts and quarter-size hail being the threats with that northern severe thunderstorm warning that's on your screen right now. So we'll continue to track severe weather, and we'll have to wait and kind of see here as this continues to play out. You know, we probably will see some more severe thunderstorm warnings here as this compresses throughout the northern portion of Ohio, to be expected. Kind of falls a little bit south of the flank of where we kind of expected the heaviest severe threat to be. But again, don't let your guard down. We have some potential for some other weather coming in later in the overnight hours as well. Here's kind of that latest outlook here. We really expect a lot to get going here in the northern, extreme northwest portion of Ohio where they have that enhanced risk. This is lining up greatly in the slight risk category. So it is lining up correctly, but we did expect a little bit more activity to go off towards the north, but we do have to keep that in mind. We do have another kind of round here overnight tonight. All right, let's go ahead and turn that off, and let's also talk about the severe thunderstorm watch that they had issued and expanded. So let's go ahead and just show that to you on your screen as well. They did expand this. As you can see here, any of these areas in this pinkish color, you are in that severe thunderstorm warning, severe thunderstorm watch until 11 o'clock. And again, they expanded this one. The latest watches posted to our page, so you can pick out some of those counties, but it does include portions of Dayton, Sydney, Lima, all those things. Now, we'll have to wait and see. I'm assuming this one will drop out as it moves forward here, as this line progresses. I'm assuming they'll start to cut this one back. But again, they went and expanded this one here just a few minutes ago due to the track of this taking just a little bit of a southerly turn. They didn't kind of expect that, so they went ahead and issued that watch to cover those areas as well. A little better late than never on that one. So looking here, we're not seeing a ton of reports coming in, but we do have earlier we had a report of 62 mile an hour gusts and 65. That was in Allen County. I do know that we had that as well, and there's been some reports of power flashes west of McCartyville. That's another thing that we had seen with this storm. But again, considerable tag there that we're looking at on that most southern flank storm that we'll continue to watch. And I do apologize. I am not on the right radar, so you're not really getting a good look at that. Let me flip over a little bit better picture here for you. I was looking at Cleveland's radar. A little bit better picture here on that southern flank on that particular storm. Again, still tagged considerable, which means over 70 mile an hour wind gusts. And they're well, they might have just upgraded that or downgraded that to just a regular one as we speak. Yeah, literally, just came in 15 seconds ago. They downgraded that. They took the considerable tag out, but still 60 mile an hour wind gusts with this as well. Now, we can't totally say, as I zoom out here, we can't totally say that there isn't the chance of a tornado tonight. We have seen some rotation, and even right now, we look at some areas of broad rotation within some of these cells. There's been some earlier that really tried to get going. It was close. But it decided to weaken, which is a good thing. We don't need that right now. But it was very close, and this is very broad right now. So we do have to keep an eye on most of this as we head throughout the overnight hours, and to make sure that we don't get any storms that have the rotation with them. We do see just enough shear in the atmosphere that we could see some quick isolated spin-ups with this. So we have to keep a very close eye on that as we head into the overnight hours. So kind of zooming out here, let's go ahead and put back on reflectivity for you, and zoom in here to this northern storm, and we'll flip over back to Cleveland's radar. Get a better look at this one here for portions of Seneca County and Crawford County and portions of Wyandotte County. We'll zoom back in here real quick, and this northern flank. I'd say really on this one, it just dived south of Tiffin, but I would say mostly on this one, they're looking for what we would say, not a ton in the way of winds right now, but I would say mostly on this one, they're looking because it was a hail threat. They did tag that one with quarter-size hail being a possibility. Sorry, that's a little bit off your screen. A little bit underwhelming, I guess, in some regards as well. But they got this one here, hail threat at 1 inch and 60 mile an hour wind gusts as well. So we're looking here at a couple other reports that are starting to come in here. Let's go ahead and turn on, let me back up here a minute. I'm going to turn off the watch so we can get that out of the way. And give me 1 second here. Turn on some local storm reports so you can kind of see some of the things that we've had come in thus far that's been reported out to the National Weather Service. So one of these you can kind of see here, an AWOS station, Observation Weather Station, Automated Weather Observation Station, I'll get it right. They had a wind gust there, 62 miles an hour there at Westminster. And then also in Auglaize County, they had another one at 65 miles per hour. That was a public report, though, but this one definitely was confirmed at this Automated Weather Observation Station. So that's all we're seeing right now. Now, back behind this, you'd seen even back into Indiana, the hail threat, and there was definitely some hail as it moved across. And it really was spinning and rotating, I should say, as it came out of Kokomo. We've been watching that one way back when as it come out of Kokomo and moved off here towards the east. And it's taken mainly an easterly course to a little bit towards the north. Speaking of that, let's zoom out here just a little bit. I'll put this into motion for you, trying to see what's going on here. I'll turn off those storm reports, and we kind of see what's going on. Let the radar spin up here just a little bit. But it is moving pretty much towards the east, and it's just taking a northerly turn just so slightly that we're looking at. All right, let me look here. As that's spinning up for you here, let me look at a couple other quick things. And I'm on the Cleveland radar site with that one, so that's not going to be the best look on most of that. But let me look at something here. That's a delayed report. That is definitely a delayed report. Yeah, some of these reports coming in over the last 24 hours, kind of a delayed report coming in onto our dashboard that I'm looking at right now. All right, I'll go ahead and minimize that real quick. And let me flip back down here to Dayton. I apologize. Kind of queued up. We're kind of stuck between radar sites here, so we're kind of flipping back and forth, especially for those people down here and near Dayton and near Sydney and near Piqua. You're starting to see probably some pretty dark skies. The sun's setting right now, and we do see a small hail threat in with this one as well. So we're keeping an eye on that one as well. Now, as far as the threat for everybody overnight tonight, yeah, it's possible that pretty much, we can zoom out here. We'll put the outlook back on, but pretty much in the entire state of Ohio, you could see some form of severe weather as we head into the overnight hours tonight. So it's important that you make sure you have a way to receive warnings. So download our app. You can do that for free, get alert, especially as you go into the overnight hours. It's very, very important to have a game plan ready just in case. And again, I hate to say this, but we cannot rule out the total risk of tornadoes. So make sure you know where to go in a tornado, especially at night. Have a plan for nighttime tornadoes. Or the radio, have your cell phone charged, that sort of thing. Now, with that being said, not saying this is going to be overly zealous whatsoever tonight, but you could see some brief isolated spin-ups that happen overnight tonight. So let's go back to the radar here. We do have some updates coming in here. A new severe thunderstorm warning just been issued out ahead, and you can see that one populating on your screen for portions of Champaign County and Logan County until 8:45. They got this one again, quarter-size hail and 60-mile-an-hour wind gusts. So we're seeing that one right now as well. I'm not sure why that's not populating. I apologize. We have something that should be populating on that, but it's just not quite there. So apologies for that. I have to get that fixed. Nothing that you really would see, but I'll have to get that fixed. But anywho, we do have this new severe thunderstorm warning. Let's zoom into it here down outside of Sydney, coming near Bell Fountain, West Liberty, and Urbana. Let's go ahead and look at this one real quick. This one's issued until 8:45. And again, like I'd said, it's for Champaign and Logan counties until 8:45. They got this moving at 35 miles an hour, 60-mile-an-hour wind gusts, quarter-size hail. Bell Fountain, Urbana, St. Paris, West Liberty, North Lewisburg, Russell's Point, Lakeview, Bell Center, West Mansfield, Chippewa Park, Northfield, Quincy, Rush, I don't know how to say that one, Rush, Sylvania, I think, Huntsville, Ridgeway, Valley High, Zanesfield, Cable, and Westville, all locations that could be impacted by this severe storm. So a lot of this being, right now, like I said before, a lot of this being non-tornadic. But as we zoom in on the radar here, you see this is not what we would call very tight rotation. This is very broad rotation. So we're going to keep a very close eye on this. It's not wrapped itself up yet, but this storm has had some history of rotating, not to the point where they've ever issued a warning. There were some tags that said tornado possible, but not to the point where it's had a warning. So we're keeping a close eye on that one as it moves here throughout the overnight hours. So you got to be prepared for that, because we can't totally say anything. Like we said before, we can't say that there's no threat or tornado threat as we head into the overnight hours. All right, another severe thunderstorm warning just issued here. We'll turn off that category risk. Another severe thunderstorm warning issued out ahead of the one out here in Cleveland. Flip back over to Cleveland real quick, and we'll take a better look here at this storm cell just coming out of basically Seneca County, Crawford County. Let's go ahead and flip back over to reflectivity. They issued this one out for portions, depending, I guess, if you have a Mansfield address, for portions of our friends maybe in Mansfield, just to the north, I should say, of Mansfield. But they had this new severe thunderstorm warning that goes until 8:45. And this severe thunderstorm warning is for southern Huron County, northern Richland County, northwestern Ashland County, and northeastern Crawford County until 8:45. So 60-mile-an-hour wind gusts, quarter-size hail. Mansfield, depending, like I said, in portions of your address, you're included in the in the warning statement. Ashland, Shelby, New London, Plymouth, New Washington, Savannah, Greenwich, Bailey Lakes, Sulphur Springs, Shenandoah, and Olivesburg. All right. So that's what we got going on there. And I would say mainly that one's for hail. And sorry, I had to mute the mic for just a minute. I was sneezing. Pollen is wonderful right now. So allergies are really starting to kick up for many of us across Ohio. All right. So this is kind of what's going on. We gotta just have a plethora of severe warnings right now. Everything that's on the board right now, just kind of reiterate this. I'll come back out to default view. Everything that's on the board at this exact moment is not under. This is just. Let me just rephrase that. This is a basic severe thunderstorm warning. Before, when we first came live, we had one of the warnings that had a considerable tag, which had threats of wind gusts over 70 miles an hour. We're not seeing that anymore. The National Weather Service has reduced that, and it's back to just what we call a standard severe thunderstorm warning. We are also not seeing any warnings right now tagged with rotation or tornado possible. So that's also a good thing. We're not seeing that as well. So we're pretty much right now at this particular moment seeing your good old variety thunderstorm, your garden variety type thunderstorm, but they are approaching severe limits. So some of these are getting a little bit cranky and producing some pretty good hail, and then also some wind gusts that are approaching, as measured there in Allen County, approaching 65 miles an hour. So we got to be careful with that one as well. We do have a report that just came in. Not sure. They're saying hail at 1.5 inches that was estimated just outside of New Washington and Crawford County. So that storm sound, that latest one that we just read up here, just for the northern portion by Mansfield, that's what they're saying. That's a public storm report. So again, estimated hail. So we're not even sure if it's measured, but nevertheless, I wouldn't be surprised that we have some pretty strong hail coming out of that as well. All right, let me look here real quick too. I do want to, before we kind of wrap up, I'm not going to keep it live just for the sake of keeping us live here, but I do want to come back and look here at some of the overnight runs so you can kind of see what's going on here. Let me queue up the model data here, and that you have to ignore what's on the screen right now. Let me go ahead and turn off the other radar site, and let's go ahead and queue that up. And go back here. Sorry, I got to flip screens again. There we go. All right, so this is kind of where we're at right now. This is showing 9 o'clock right now. They kind of show it kind of in a weakening state, but that's not really what we got to worry about per se. We've kind of had 3 rounds today. We're in the second one. The ones up here, we're going to have to continue to watch as we get into the overnight hours as this dives down here a little bit towards the south and see what happens. So you kind of see that line form over Michigan. We're at 1 in the morning. And you kind of see that line all the way back over Illinois onto Iowa. And as that tapers ever so slightly to the south here in the overnight hours, especially from northwest Ohio, we're looking at 4 a.m. right now. Look at the model data time over here. This is what we're looking at in the overnight hours. So that's when I said earlier, be prepared for overnight storms, especially in northern Ohio. That's what I was talking about, because this is diving towards the south. And again, as we go through the overnight hours, some of these could be cranky, and that's one of the things we're really going to have to keep a very close eye on. Looking at tomorrow's category outlook, and again, after midnight, this is what tomorrow's category outlook looks like as we continue to move this clock forward. Again, this is for tomorrow, which is Wednesday, the category outlook for the Storm Prediction Center. They do anticipate, as we continue to move forward, some things maybe getting a little bit more cranky here as we head throughout the day as well. So again, we really have just your good old garden variety type storms at this point. But again, we can't totally rule out the isolated chance of a tornado. Sorry, that really was zoomed in too far. Let me go ahead and replay this for you here. So look at this time right here, 11 o'clock. I know it's cut off for you, but this is saying 11 o'clock here in the overnight hours. If this line across northern Michigan speeds up, the timing won't speed up, but kind of anticipated approaching Ohio here about 3 to 4 in the morning. That's what we're looking at, and we have to keep a very close eye on that. It has that bowing structure, which is very indicative of strong winds if it holds together. Again, lots of big ifs with this particular statement that we're saying. So we're not totally sold on that entire threat, but we did want to just point that out towards you. That's kind of what the latest model data is saying. Some of it's been overdone, but we do have to just kind of keep an eye on that as we move forward here. Turn it back to base velocity. So look in here. You can see there's some tornado warnings out over Milwaukee, just in our approach Indiana, Illinois. But this is kind of what we're looking at right now. We have pretty much good old typical garden variety thunderstorms. And again, as we head into the overnight hours, do expect some of these storms get cranky with strong hail and some strong winds, about 60 miles an hour. All right, so with that being said, we're going to wrap up, but we'll continue to monitor these storms. The team here is monitoring everything, and we're continuing to watch these storms, but we'll continue to come back live if we need to as we head into the overnight hours. And again, please make sure that you have a way to receive warnings tonight. That's the biggest thing. You can download our app. That's the big important thing. Download our app. I know it's going to nighttime tornado screen, but you can download our app. Best way to get alerted. You could set the local settings if you want, as far as what warnings you want to be alerted on. Make sure you have a way to receive warnings in the overnight hours, and do take the warnings seriously. So again, looking pretty gnarly. I seen somebody just post that. Looks pretty gnarly coming outside of Mansfield, probably. Definitely with that storm cell just approaching you right now. Definitely would expect that right now. Definitely a hail threat in that one. So make sure you are prepared for that one. Depending where you're at in Mansfield, you do have that hail threat. So, all right, we're going to wrap up. But continue to track the weather with us. You can track it on our app. Again, download the app, Ohio News and Weather, search in the App Store, and we'll continue to come back live as we need to. And remember, when thunder